Hey Nora, thanks so much for taking a few minutes to chat. I really appreciate it. So, as you know, I'm working on a new fintech project and I would love to get your thoughts on the world of investing today. It should only take about 5, 7 minutes. Does that work for you?
Hey, of course, happy to help. And I'm very curious to hear what you're working on. The whole finance world feels like it's changing so fast.
Awesome. So, to start, are you currently investing at all or is it something you're thinking about? And if so, is it important for you that your investments align with certain values like ethical or religious principles?
Yeah, I'm seriously thinking about it. I've started putting some money aside and I'm actually looking at options. For me, it's crucial that it feels meaningful. I don't want to just put my money into a random index fund and hope for the best. I'd really love for it to be aligned with my principle. So, ideally, investments that are compliant with the Islamic finance.
That makes sense. And when you're looking at your options, what does that research process look like? Are you using apps, websites, talking to advisors?
Mostly online research. I've looked at a few so called Islamic investment apps and read articles on websites that list top halal stocks, but it all feels so superficial. These apps are often clunky and the lists get outdated so quickly. It's very manual and a disjointed process, honestly.
Okay, so it looks like the discovery process itself is a challenge. When you do find these compliant investments, what are the biggest hurdles or frustrations you run into?
Honestly, it's a lack of clarity. That's my biggest problem. I find funds or stocks that are labeled halal or Islamic, but it feels like a total black box. Like, how can I be 100% sure? I just have to trust a label without seeing the data behind it. I have no idea how they verified the company's debt levels or if all of its business's activities are even truly compliant.
That's a great point. When you say black box, are you talking about not knowing their screening methodology, or is it more about the specific data itself being hidden?
It's both. For example, I saw a major tech company in the halal ETF, but I happen to know that they're growing a division that deals with buy now, pay later schemes, which can involve interest. Is that division big enough to make the whole stock non compliant? Who makes that call? And what's the threshold? The ETF provider just gives you a yes or no, not the breakdown. I want to see the details and make my own informed decision.
Right, you want the raw data, not just the final verdict. I understand. So the main needs is transparency and confidence in the compliance of the investments.
Exactly. And there's a second thing, performance. There's always that little voice in the head, maybe it's a myth, that says that if you invest ethically, you're automatically going to earn less. And that's a real fear.
Yeah, but where does that fear come from? Is it something you've seen in the data or more of a general perception?
Yeah, I'd say it's more of a perception, but it's powerful. Conventional funds show you that all these sophisticated charts, risk analysis, and future projections. And the Islamic ones often feel like they show past performance. Without solid performance looking data that proves otherwise, the fear remains. I'd love a tool that not only shows me if it's compliant, but also gives me a solid database performance forecast so I can actually compare things objectively.
That's super interesting. So, if you were to imagine the ideal tool to help you, what would it do exactly?
The ideal tool would be simple, like an elegant platform or those modern investing apps. I type the name of a stock or fund and it would give me a clear dynamic compliance score, let's say out of 100. But most importantly, it would show me why it has that score in the dashboard. So, I don't know, debt ratio versus industrial average or revenue for prohibited sectors, etc. It needs to be visual and actually easy to understand.
So, a visual breakdown is key. And what else would be on your wish list for this ideal tool?
Right next to the compliance score, maybe it could have an AI tool that would give me a prediction for its future performance with best case, worst case scenarios. And it should have alerts. If a company in my portfolio suddenly takes on too much debt or becomes non compliant, I'd want to have a notification immediately. It needs to have a living tool that helps me manage my portfolio, not just a time screening list.
Perfect. So, confidence, through data, dynamic scores, and alerts. I love that. Thanks a million, Nora. Actually, thanks you a billion. Your feedback is incredibly valuable. It confirms a lot of our assumptions and gives us some new ideas.
My pleasure. Honestly, if you guys actually release a tool like that, I'd be your first customer. Keep me posted.
Will do. Thanks again and talk soon.